Like the reason why they're mad is because they think it's impossible and they can't change it, right?
Right.
Like
They
they
don't know
think,
how.
yeah, they think that's their identity now. So why are you, attacking my identity by saying I'm 10 pounds overweight? Because they feel like it's impossible to go back to how they were in a
Be a
healthier way.
weightlifter. You don't want to be
And
a, muscle bound guy. I don't want to. I like, I'm happy with what I got. Because I can still do things. I'm not after that bodybuilder body. I'm just after something that I can use day in and day out until I'm 100. And I'm saying you'll regret that one day. And what's a shame is when you get to that day, you can't fix it. And when you ever hear it from the naysayers and stuff, it's usually they're a little bit overweight. They're a little jealous. They're not going to say that, but bottom line, they wish they could look like you, but they can't. Well, they can, but they don't choose to do the work to get there.
meditation is lifting with it when I have my music on. Even when I'm on the stairmaster, I'm in that flow state. I can write lyrics to music as I'm
Sweet.
going along. I can learn music. All this stuff, like it's doing all the things I love, but incorporating fitness into it. Even Pokemon, like I
We
don't
do
know if
this
you
for
saw my.
ourselves. Bottom line, don't let anybody fool you. And then you do it for your loved ones, hopefully. And that's why I tell people, I go, hey, look at, would you like to be around an extra 10 or 15 years for your grandkids, your great grandkids, what have you? Well, yeah. I said, okay, well, it's going to take a little work on your part because that's where they sort of back off. The TRT crap is just that. It's like a quick, it's the microwave of ways to gain muscle. You'll get them quick, but it's not going to be good for you. It's going to have effects on your body, just like sticking your head in the microwave and heating up your face before you shave. That's not a good idea. So it makes me mad for them when I hear some of these people, endorsing it. And I'm saying you'll regret that one day. And what's a shame is when you get to that day, you can't fix it. You can fix it now. I
Yep.
started fixing it when I was 18. So the things that you've taught reinforce what I learned earlier in life that weren't as fine tuned as what you've got going on. My goals right now at this age, I just want to maintain. I want to be able to go out and play football and volleyball and climb a mountain or two instead of look at them. And that's possible now, thanks to what you've shown me to change my outlook and my diet. You're right. The diet's huge. And then the workouts just, the works now have something to work with. If you get your metabolism up and stuff like that, it's going to make a world of difference in how well you're going to do and how you're going to feel. And when you ever hear it from the naysayers and stuff, it's usually they're a little bit overweight. They're a little jealous. They're not going to say that, but bottom line, they wish they could look like you, but they can't. Well, they can, but they don't choose to do the work to get there.
It's true. Yeah. And it's kind of like a sliding scale too. Like if you put a little bit of effort, like say even 15, 20 minutes a day, because we have
Mm-hmm.
some of the workouts, we together for the Afro D Academy, we did those home workouts and stuff. If people
Yeah.
do those even, they're gonna still get amazing results from where they're at. And I was explaining to a client the other day how it's like reaching a different level of Super Saiyan. I don't know if you've seen the Dragon Ball Z, like with the big muscle guys and the spiky hair, the anime, but
Yeah.
but they reached that new level, and you can still make an amazing progression to the point where you can maintain your lifestyle. And hey, 20 minutes, people are scrolling TikTok for an hour plus. So people that say they don't have the time to meal prep or they don't have
Yeah.
the time, the 20 minutes
Yeah.
it takes to, get your heart rate up a little or go on a walk with your loved one. These things are huge, and you're doing that stuff anyways. Like you can scroll TikTok while you're walking. You can be on a treadmill. You can be outside. It's these habit stacking things, which is the mental. But people just think, hey, like I'll never be this bodybuilder, like six pack chiseled guy like Andre. And it's a lot of work, but I
Mm-hmm.
love it. And
Yeah.
it's something that I make time for. Like for me, like I was telling a client as well the other day that I like to work out in the evenings because once I've done my work, then that's my me time. It's like my meditation is lifting with it when I have my music on. Even when I'm on the stairmaster, I'm in that flow state. I can write lyrics to music as I'm
Sweet.
going along. I can learn music. All this stuff. Like it's doing all the things I love, but incorporating fitness into it. Even Pokemon. Like I don't know if you saw my reel recently, but I walk
No,
around on with my phone and play Pokemon and catch all the Pokemon with a bunch of other people usually for events, and I'm getting my
good.
steps in. So it's great in that way.
Yeah,
So there's so much people can do, but they just don't realize or know how to integrate it because they mentally just think it's this huge obstacle, like losing body fat. Like it's almost impossible. And I felt this way too. I mean, I don't know about you. Like, I remember you kind of had a little bit of a pudgy time as well, kind of like me, like not overly like
yeah,
obese, but kind of
yeah.
near the overweight category. And
Oh,
sometimes it does feel like it's impossible to lose the weight, but just day by day, if you have the right kind of outlook, then you'll get there.
mhm.
And it's
Yeah,
just it's not even a big deal. Like so many people get uptight about being overweight or why are you body shaming because I have like 10 extra pounds. It's like it's not like the reason why they're mad is because they think it's impossible and they can't change it, right?
right.
Like
They
they
don't know
think,
how.
yeah, they think that's their identity now. So why are you, attacking my identity by saying I'm 10 pounds overweight? Because they feel like it's impossible to go back to how they were in a healthier way. And this kind of segues to actually something I want to talk about with you when it comes to the US actually changing how they determine obesity, which is interesting. And instead of the BMI, which we both know is kind of crap because it doesn't account for muscle mass, instead of
Right.
BMI being the thing where they show obesity, they look at
Mhm.
visceral fat and the fat that's around the organs in the
Mhm.
stomach. So
Right.
that basically flipped people over the edge. I can't remember the exact metric, but it took Americans from being like, I think, 45% obese into
Mhm.
like a 75 or something percent obesity rate. And it's
Right.
because people don't have the muscle mass and they have so much fat around their organs. What do you think about just that news overall? How they're defining obesity differently and people just kind of feel like it's impossible feat to get healthy.
Yeah. Well, they want to. It's want to make you feel good type approach. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you, well, yeah, I understand where you're at. You can do this or that, and usually the this or that doesn't work. And then the person gets ready for bed and takes off their clothes. They go, shit, it's the same thing I started with last week. And it's not any different. So these quick little fixes, these little feel good things, unless you have somebody like you, that's where probably the training comes in the most, is just somebody there urging you on, pushing you a little bit in a good way, making you realize you can do this, reinforce why you're there, and congratulate you on your small gains. Hey, you lost 3 pounds this week. That doesn't sound like much, but 3 pounds every day for 10 days, that's 30 pounds, or something. And it's
Yep.
weird. Your metabolism is huge here in that regards as far as weight loss. Like I can usually in the night before I go to bed, I'll weigh myself and say I'll weigh 185. And in the morning, I'll weigh between 182 and 183. So I lost or burned 2 pounds overnight doing nothing more than exercising every day. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. So instead of looking for the quick fix or diet plans or diet pills or what have you, do it naturally, eat properly, because the diet's key in this, and do the exercise. But all the crunches you do aren't going to give you a six pack that you can see. You've got to not only have the muscle there, you got to reveal it and get rid of that little tummy fat if that's what you're after. Right now, I'm sort of happy. I got a little light cushion there. I call it my insulation, but you can still see the six pack. So because maintaining it's tough. I'm really impressed, man. Your endurance and your dedication to what you're doing is like second to none. And you're my inspiration. The things you do and the information you give out. If I know I need something, I turn to Andre. You got to help me here, buddy. What am I doing? What am I doing right and wrong? And you're there for that. And I really appreciate that. I can't tell you how much I do.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.